Hello, welcome back to another Delete the Show review. Both new and older movies. This is Gino.
This is Robert.
This is Ricardo.
America.
And Geo.
Here we are again here in California, editing and watching movies just for you guys. And of course, we had a little tremor recently that scared the shit out of us. I don't know if you guys, I don't know. I feel like half of you were asleep when it happened. No.
No.
I
Nope.
felt it.
Yeah.
You had to pause your Pornhub. Like, oh shit. What's...
I thought it was just my chair shaking. I was like, all right, back to this.
I was barely falling asleep, so it felt like I was like falling out of bed, like that thing that happens, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't help that I live like near the epicenter. That
Mm.
was crazy. Like there was an audible sound to the earthquake. Like there was a legit sound to it.
But
Yeah.
like,
It was a sound of like your apartment like coming off the foundation, or
Something like that, because it sounded like at first you hear like I heard a thud, like something. I thought something like somebody had fallen or something. Like that's how loud it was. Like something like something had hit the floor pretty hard, and then the vibration, the movement, the sideways movement happened. I was actually hanging out with Gina and a couple other friends, doing like a virtual hangout when it happened. So we all experienced it at the same time.
That's
yeah,
cool.
you guys been recording.
I know.
But you know what though? It was a delay. I'll admit that it was a delay because Gio started saying earthquake. I'm like, what? And then it started shaking my house. I'm like, damn, the timing. The timing was.
I live in Montebello, and the epicenter was like in Almani.
Yeah.
And it was just right next door. So it hit me first, and I guess Gino, since he's down in like the Southgate area, it hit him.
did you say El Mani?
Yeah.
El Monte. Wait.
Hey,
El Mani.
our
what are you,
audience.
White? Oh, I live in El Mani. Sorry.
I also live in Montebello. You don't complain there.
Well, Robert, what did you watch this recently? Since you want to start the conversation with the smart ass.
They're watching Schitt's Creek, but this week I watched a documentary series on Netflix called Challenger. It's about the space shuttle explosion. I love like anything space related, so I was eager to watch it. And I know about the story; it's very tragic and all that. But I don't really agree with the way it was produced. It felt like it was something like kind of dumbed down, kind of something you see like on CNN or Fox News, and it was a little disappointing. Like it's a great story. It's very tragic and do have a lot of like never before like seen or heard stories and stuff. But just something about the way that it was presented, it didn't really rub me the right way. So I don't know if I could recommend it that much.
Oh, okay.
But like just to give an example, they show the footage of the space shuttle exploding. And they added like an explosion sound. It's like there's no sound there. Like you didn't, hear. Like why did you have to add that? And that seems like a small detail, but it's like some shit that we would have done back where we used to work. It's stupid bullshit. And
More
I-
exciting.
Yeah, it didn't sit right. Anyways, that's what I watched. Gio, what have you been watching?
Not much. More soccer. I did watch a bit of Reno 911 Miami. It was on TV, so I was watching that. It's pretty funny. Yeah, off the top of my head, I don't remember what else I saw this week. Just more Food Network, like always, and soccer. Just those are my main channels.
Yeah.
What about you? What about you, Ricardo?
I was watching One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Remember on Netflix? Yeah, you remember that movie?
Yeah.
I saw it on Netflix recently. I love that movie. So I rewatched it and I was like, fuck. You think crazy, you know?
What?
It didn't
Don't
come out
say.
right. Rewind.
Can you expand on that, please?
No, what I was trying to say is that like Jack Nicholson, he's probably one of my favorite actors of all time, except for unless
Adam
like
Sandler?
no. Unless, Shia's the best, obviously, especially what he did this week. I love him. Man.
Was he in
He
One
is
Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
No. I was just like,
He was at that the table read what is it?
Fast Times.
Oh. Richmond High, you're right. Yeah.
the best I ever seen. I was like, fucking Shia is my poster. I'm gonna screenshot his picture and put a poster of him because that shit was too good. But back to the movie. Jack Nicholson in the movie. If you guys remember the movie, he's like lazy ass, wants to go and like doesn't want to go to jail and doesn't want to work, so he pretends to be like crazy. But once you're there in the little mental hospital, you're stuck there. So he starts becoming crazy. Well, that's what I think. He starts becoming crazy, and then I don't know. Watching the movie, I think all the actors that come out there like are fucking good. Even Danny DeVito, little young Danny DeVito, you fucking think he's crazy, but he's not. So it's so good. You guys should rewatch it if you watched it already, and if you haven't watched it, take a watch. It's
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
I've never seen it.
Me neither. I've never seen it.
You guys never seen it?
No.
No.
Damn.
Everything you just said, I was like,
Oh,
I was
You're
like-
in your brain just waiting for him to stop and be like, okay, good. You're
yeah,
like,
come on,
yeah,
Danny.
I agree
I
with
love that
that.
It's a
I mean,
really
it's
good
on my list. It's on my
it's
list.
a real good watch, and
Yeah.
if not, then one day I'll recommend it, guys. I'll pick it. 'Cause
Cool.
It's a really good watch.
Alright.
I swear, so it is. So Gino, what you been watching?
You know what? Also, like you were I watched Netflix. I watched this Korean horror movie called #Alive, and
ooh.
Shit.
that one I actually liked it. It's to me. I'm starting to think these Korean zombie movies are interlined in a way because I felt like I was watching Train to Busan. I don't know if you ever seen that one. Like that one's a pretty good zombie movie too, and it's basically about this guy who's like a gamer. I kind of relate to him because I like playing video games. I like to be online, but then like the zombie pandemic started happening, and then like so he's just stuck in his apartment this whole time, and he's just trying to find to survive basically throughout this whole thing. And then like he just but since he's a scaredy cat, he just witnesses from his balcony like people getting killed or whatever. It's a very interesting story of like what would you do in his situation with limited of food, limited of like resources and shit. Like it was pretty interesting. I give it a recommendation.
You should review it because it's like a 2020 movie, no?
Yeah.
I watched it. I was
Yeah, what's it called again? I'll put it on my list.
#Alive.
Hashtag
Okay.
alive.
Yeah.
It's a scary movie too.
It's a really good watch. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good
it's a
one.
really good watch. I actually do like what I kind of want to watch it again because it's really entertaining.
It's fun, right?
Yeah.
It's a fun
Heck
movie.
yeah. Y tu, America, what you watch?
So, you guys are about to be jealous and also not. We just watched Tenet.
Oh shit!
So,
It leaves.
You went to a drive-in?
yeah.
Or did you go into Orange County?
No. So we went to the Paramount Drive-In, which
It's not,
not
the best.
the best place to watch maybe any movie, but especially not Tenet. I definitely like if I watch this again or when I watch this again, it's gonna be like the first time watching it because the whole time I was like, wait, what? Giant ass screen, subtitles this big when they're speaking Russian, and
Oh.
I mean, trying to understand the whole like time stuff went right over my head. But it's interesting, so I definitely would watch it.
It's not really that confusing if you really, really watch it though. Like it's just that sometimes we'll be like asking questions to each other, and then you miss something. You just miss something right away.
Yeah,
Missed
and
the
that's
Russian part.
Yeah,
and that's why I didn't want to watch it in a drive-in because like I felt like I was afraid of what you guys went through. Like I would miss stuff because like somebody had their headlights on or some bullshit like that. So even though it is available sort of to watch now in LA, I'm like I could wait. Honestly, I don't care about spoilers and all that. If everybody's seen it, I could wait.
Yeah.
It's really cool though. You should
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
guys watch it, take a watch. It's cool.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna invite you guys, but then I
Yeah.
was like, they're not gonna want to watch it like this.
Yeah.
I probably would have thought about it, but I think I've made my decision in my heart.
Yeah, it wasn't ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and especially some scenes, you're like, fuck, I wish it was an IMAX, Like it's
Yeah.
so badass, but fucking there it's just like this.
Yeah. That's the thing, 'cause when we do watch it at home, like it's not gonna be the same as if you were in theaters.
Yeah, I have to
So
watch it in
Yeah.
theaters.
and it sucks because that is like a very theater movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, there's theaters open in Orange County. Just gotta go.
Nah,
Just gotta
No,
go
thank
next door.
you.
I ain't going to that fucking COVID hotspot. Fuck that shit. With all the anti-maskers, fuck that shit, man.
Yeah.
Just take your face shield and your mask and one of those radioactive suits.
Take your own like oxygen mask or what?
Those hazmat suits. Just grab one of those.
If I see anybody with a mask on, I'll be like 2319, 2319.
What did we watch this week?
So this week our new movie is on Netflix. It's called The Devil All the Time. It stars Robert Pattinson and Tom Holland, and is written for the screen and directed by Antonio Campos. Um, I'm not really gonna try to give like a summary of this movie, but I will say it takes place in the late 40s and 60s, and it's a bunch of bad people, a bunch of bad shit happening to bad people. That's what I'll say. Yeah, let's go. America, what did you think of this movie?
I thought I was gonna hate this movie, and I didn't see any trailers or anything. But it, for some reason, it just seemed like one of those shows like You or like Lucifer on Netflix. You know, like I don't have a high expectation of things on Netflix. You know, Netflix originals. But I was really surprised. So I'm in on this movie. And I can't say that I like enjoyed enough like watching these bad things happen to these bad people, you know? So I'm in. Yeah, Ricardo, what did you think?
I'm like, can I go next?
Oh, that's what you were saying? I was like, what?
I gotta admit, guys, I love this movie. I'm in. Yeah, so I fucking Spider-Man is a great actor. I know he's gonna be fucking badass when he gets older or whatever. More movies are gonna come in. Love them. Batman is even better, I think. I think he's gonna be a fucking Oscar winner. He should get nominated for this one. I think he should get nominated for an Oscar in this one. I think he's so good. I don't know. America didn't like him. Maybe you guys didn't like his accent. I loved his accent. I loved the way he talked. And I was like, doesn't this motherfucker have an accent? That's crazy.
I thought it was a little on and off. Yeah.
That guy is good. Batman is fucking good in this movie. This whole movie has this badass like relief at the end too. And like I don't know how. I think we could talk about it, but I'm in. So Robert, what do you think?
I've never seen I didn't see any trailers of this movie, so I really didn't know like going in what was in store for me. But I will say like I've never seen a movie live up to its name like so much. Like it really is the devil all the time. But I gotta say I'm in. I think this is a well-crafted movie. It's fucking excellent. Like the direction, the tone that it sets in the beginning. It seems like a long beginning, but it sets that tone so well. And it's really absorbing. And I really enjoy, even though it's very bleak, it's extremely cynical. It makes you feel like shit. I gotta give it credit because it succeeded at making you feel all those things. And I really thought it was great. And I thought it was an actor's movie. Like all the performances were great. Tom Holland, it's great to see him. Robert Pattinson, I loved him. All the performance. I think everybody was so perfectly cast. So it is a dreadful experience, kind of one that'll make you feel like shit. But if you're ready for it, if you want to take that ride, this movie's for you. Gino, what did you think?
I totally agree with you, Robert. I totally agree with whatever. Well, so far what everyone's been saying. I haven't seen a trailer, so I didn't know what I was expecting. It started slow because I started trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and I'm like, "Where's Tom Holland? Where's Robert Pattinson?" But whatever. But I can say this: I used to shit on Robert Pattinson since Twilight. Now I'm starting to feel like an asshole because now I see the talent he has.
Preach,
from
brother.
his acting. Lord Jesus himself. And the Bible says he is the greatest actor of all time. But that being said, like I actually do appreciate his character. I understand why America thinks I understand why you think his voice was annoying, but you gotta really think about the character himself. He's a creepy motherfucker. And a religious creepy motherfucker, like any Christian people from that side of the country is. And to be honest, it's very believable. I was super like, holy shit! I'm glad I didn't watch the trailer because that accent was a surprise to me because I'm used to seeing "I'm vengeance" to the Lord itself is. I'm like, holy fuck! And Tom Holland was great as well too. His performance was great. I think he was the best. His best acting performance I've seen so far other than Spider-Man. I don't know, I haven't seen anything else with him, but
I was gonna say, to be fair, I don't think we've probably seen him much.
It's just nice to see that he is able to take that next step. Like he is an actor, he's not just one character.
Well, I'm super in. Sorry, I went too long. But Gio, what about you, man?
I think I'm in as well. I might not be as in as you guys. I think it was a little rough because it does kind of jump around a little bit. And just but other than that, like yeah, the performances were good. You were talking about Robert Pattinson's accent. Nobody had heard his accent until the day of shooting,
Really?
apparently. Yeah, like they were saying I
Fun
saw
fact.
on yeah, I saw online that like everybody else sent the director samplings of their accent. Robert Pattinson was kind of trying to work it himself and he was kind of shy about it, so he didn't want anybody to criticize him in the process. When he first stepped on set, it was the first time they ever heard his accent.
Kind of scary.
Yeah, every once in a while it does get a little bit jumbled because you can tell that he didn't get, I guess, that formal training on how to
Yeah.
emphasize in certain things. But yeah, it's a good movie. It's very dark. It's a very dark movie.
I love it. I
But
love that. That's
yeah,
like movies that I love.
it to a certain degree. Last week we did, was it Running Scared? This is a better version of Running Scared because you have the like on that one you have the connection of everybody, and then this one you have that like it's a small world kind of thing.
Hey, going back to Robert Pattinson though, you know how like we watched that movie, Good Times? That's when I
Mhm.
knew like he had an accent right there. He had the New York accent,
Yeah.
and he starts like I see the development. He's getting super good, you know.
Yeah.
And then I saw Tenet, right, and fucking he's good there too. I was like, this
Oh, yeah,
guy,
I've seen that.
he's got to win an Oscar. He's gonna win one for sure. Like
Look,
he
Yeah.
has.
look, I
Not
have to
this
agree with you,
year.
man. I have to agree with you, Ricardo. Like when I saw Good Times, I was at first I was kind of like that. I'm like, that's weird. Why would you sound like that? But then like he's a chameleon, bro. Like he's blending into those characters, man. And I like that. Were you gonna say,
I mean,
Robert?
No, I was gonna say like I too was a Robert Pattinson hater because he was in Twilight and all the girls liked him, and it's really just jealousy, right? You're like, fuck that guy because like he's like the hottest guy in the world and he's very talented, right?
you're like, I'm
It's like,
also pale.
yeah, and then like I sparkle, but it's a shame that it takes him doing a movie that appeals to like men for us to like him, you know. But no, he's a great actor, and yeah, like at times maybe his accent might seem a little out there. I think that's why it's like it's either hit or miss, you know.
Yeah.
But it's such a crazy character that you kind of like overlook that. But like you know how they say like stage plays like an actor's medium, you know. I think this is an actor's movie. I think every the characters either they were a well directed or b they were just allowed to like bring everything they could to the character because like
I think it's both.
every performance was just super great and it just helped for the tone. But the movie was based on a book, right? I
Mhm.
forget the name of the writer, but like it's such a I said it earlier, but it's such a cynical view of the world. And then like
Yeah.
I myself, I'm like a dark person. Like I see like things in a negative light. But even me, like I want to go to the writer, like, hey bro, you need to go to Disneyland or something, bro. Like you need to chill. Like go get on Small World because this shit is fucked up, man. Like how do you conceive of something like this, man? Like it's just it's almost like that town is like hell, you know?
Yeah.
And every
Mhm.
character is just like fucking going through that. I don't know. It's,
I mean,
it's fucking amazing.
For
Yeah.
for being a very religious little town, like there's a lot of sin going on
Of
in
course,
this little
yeah.
place.
That's
Yeah.
like the point.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think that's like the whole point of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
being super religious and whatever. But I think like going back to like, being this is a very cynical movie. And then if you're already kind of like, I don't know, someone who if you watch The Sopranos and wanted to watch somebody die, like this movie is for you, because you get that satisfaction. Like you kind of hate everybody at some point,
Mhm.
and like I don't know, I was just like, you better shoot him, Spider-Man. Like I'm not playing any games. Like, I didn't say who. I
That
just
is
saying,
true.
like I just wanted people to die. I was like, no, no.
It came
like,
to that point where like you want to see these people die, so like that's what I was gonna say, that the ending gives you some sort of relief or something. So
Yeah,
like,
it's funny that you mentioned that because it's for being such a dark movie, like it almost has like a hopeful ending in a way.
yeah.
And it's like this is something so unexpected, but like you said, it is like a release. I
yeah.
think like the director like gave us that moment. It's like, hey,
Even in
you've been through,
Disneyland.
you've been through this shit. Let's go put on some Scooby-Doo cartoons or something.
I think
It's like
it's supposed to be. I think you are supposed to have that relief though, because
Yeah.
even from the beginning, he tells us the only person who's not related to someone in this damn little town is that boy, Spider-Man,
Yeah.
right? And they pick on him, and like all this stuff happens, and so it's kind of he's set up to be kind of like the savior of this little town because
Spider-Man.
something bad always
Oh, shit.
happens here, you know.
Yeah.
So he kind of like broke the curse.
Yeah.
So yeah, you are supposed to be relieved when like he basically cures the town of like the evil.
But no, going back to the movie, it's not very like plot driven. Like there's not a lot of things like driving the story forward.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's very long. But for the most part, I thought it was very well paced. Like there was only like one moment where I was like, okay, something maybe needs to happen here, you know. But for it being such a movie with like very kind of quote unquote little story, like I thought it moved very well, and like
Yeah.
every scene was like it was almost like a short film. Every scene was like a short film, like in itself, like that had
Yeah.
its own little setup and payoff. I thought this is a great movie. Maybe, I mean, I know I hate to pick like the movie that makes you feel like shit, but this might be my favorite movie of the year so far.
Oh,
Honestly,
I was
It's
about to
really
say
good.
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a well. You
I had to bring
the
that up.
Yeah.
the craft in this movie is like second to none. It's hard to like dislike anything about it, basically. But I'm sure this is a movie that's gonna reward rewatches because there's probably a lot of symbolism in it that I didn't catch on to, you know, but it's probably all there.
What's up with the ending? Did anyone look into it?
I feel like the ending was I don't know if it's an open ending to like the audience to think like their own ending to the character. I mean, when I saw the ending, I felt like yeah, like he's a fugitive, of course, and I feel like he's gonna try to find a new life somewhere else, and that's it's to me what it was. It's like it's a full circle of like the people you meet from the beginning to the end, and it all ends with Tom Holland's character. That's how I see it. Like the full circle comes complete.
So you think he got away?
Maybe I think he did, and made a new life somewhere else. I don't know what you guys think, but
there's a line at the end that just summarizes all the bleakness and dark shit. It just makes you feel like shit. It's when Winter Soldier turns to Spider-Man and he says some folks are just born to be buried.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like is all this shit meaningless, you know? And it's just like it puts you in such a dark place. Like this is not the movie. I mean, I guess it is because like the world is already fucked up, but just like it's funny because last week we watched such a wholesome, you know, movie, like very happy, and we just went completely opposite this week. And it's like I don't know if this is good for my soul, basically.
Hey, so what do you guys think about the other characters? The two, they could have made a movie out of them, out of the two
The
couples. The couple.
Yeah,
Oh, the
That shit
religious
is-
couple?
Yeah, that shit
Oh,
is
man.
fucking insane.
it's almost
That is
like
the saddest one because I mean that is the Lorraine or what's her name?
I don't remember.
I don't know. The sister? Like that's exactly her story, right? If she had like gone on to whatever, like I don't know, that's so sad. I guess both her parents and Spider-Man's parents like stories kind of just continued, but like kind of in a different setting.
Yeah, it was almost like Pulp Fiction-esque, you
Yeah.
know, because it's
It
like a
reminded me of,
separate
like, a-
separate story.
Separate story, yeah.
Yeah, that eventually comes in, you know.
Dude, I loved all that. Wasn't
Yeah.
that super cool? I was like, fuck.
No, I think this movie's great. Like, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. Like, it's fucked up. I don't know if I want to watch it again. You know,
Or
but,
for a while.
But it's really really great. Like I said, best movie of the year so far for me.
Just ask your therapist first before rewatching this movie, Robert.
Yeah.
You'll definitely need a palate cleanser after.
well, speaking about palate cleanses, Gio, what is your pick and why?
My pick for this week was Kung Fu Hustle, directed by Stephen Chow. It's about a wannabe gangster. You know, he's trying to join this big gang called the Axe Gang, and you know, things happen along the way. I love this movie. Of course, I'm in on this movie. I love the balance of the funny, the action in this. Yeah, it's just an all around enjoyable movie. Let's see what America, what'd you think of this?
I want to be an in because I thought this was really funny, but honestly, it felt kind of long, and I don't think it was. And I didn't really care. Like I wanted to see the funny, and didn't really care about the story in a lot of parts of this movie. So I'm gonna have to be an out. like I would watch this again and then like kind of change it, you know, like, oh, I want to watch this scene,
Okay.
and then like, yeah, like it was very funny though. So yeah, I guess Ricardo, what did you think?
No, I love the movie, man. It was really fun. So I'm in. Yeah, so it was a really entertaining. It's like a cartoon, watching a cartoon live.
Mhm.
Nothing really bothered me. It was like you're going to this. That's all. You know what you're gonna watch once you watch the fucking cover.
Mhm.
So it's a really fun and entertaining. The fighting scenes are really cool. It did feel kind of long in some points, but I was still in. I was like, dude, this is fun, and each fight is different. So it was cool. And then they have a Super Saiyan scene, so I loved all that. So yeah, Gino, what you think?
Not gonna lie, man. I'm definitely on this movie as well, man. This is actually my first Stephen Chow movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I ended up watching Shaolin Soccer a little bit right after this movie, and I actually love this movie. I fucking enjoyed it. The comedy was good. I feel like it was Looney Tunes like influenced. I felt, the comedy, the action. I like Regio said, the comedy, the action, and little like drama was like kind of like blended very well, and it's sad that I don't think I've seen any more other Stephen Chow stuff after this one actually. But so far this has been the best one. But yeah, Robert, what do you think, man?
I'll be in because I saw this movie like a long time ago when it first came out, and I thought it was the funniest shit I had ever seen. Like, it was so hilarious. Like, I love the style. But watching it again, I hadn't seen it since then. Watching it again this time, and I don't think it's the movie's fault because I wasn't in the right state of mind. Like, some stuff like in the
Okay.
world had happened, and it just that whole silliness. Like, I couldn't really get into it. Although, like, I remembered the scenes that made me laugh so much, you know. It did seem longer this time, but overall, in because like I remember the first, like watching it for the first time, you're gonna think it's hilarious and you're gonna laugh. So I had to recommend it.
It was very like cartoon inspired. Um, I think that's the reason that like I didn't grade it harsher, because it was so like insane that it was like, what the, like you can't help but laugh,
Mhm.
you know?
Mm.
But I do wish that like, I don't know, the story I felt like got lost, which obviously is not what you should come to this movie for.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually loved all the characters in this. I don't know if you guys.
I don't know. I felt like again, like it's not the movie's fault, but like I couldn't follow the story as well. Like I didn't get into it as much as the first time I saw it, so I don't remember exactly what happened and why. I know there's a
Well,
gang.
no, there's a gang that terrorizes the city. The Axe Gang, whatever. Stephen Chow, who's the director, who whatever. He stars in it. He's just this guy who wanted to be a hero when he was a kid, but then because of he got bullied, turns into an asshole. He thinks an asshole deserves better shit, so that's why I want to be a gang. So he has like his sidekick, which is a Bigfoot, soft guy. You think like, oh, he's not gonna hurt nobody. He looks nice, but just it's all about basically it's like a lot of shit. Okay, because of this, the Axe Gang wants to fuck with this little town, this little fucking corner apartment complex, who are just bums who are living their own life, which happen to have secret fucking kung fu masters that you kind of go, what the
As
fuck is this come from?
landlords.
Yeah, as landlords, as attendants, as like a freaking guy who does soup, with the guy who fucking carries bags of rice, some guy that fucking does clothing, like
And then
unexpected
just a
people.
random buff kid.
And a random buff kid. That
The
scene
buff
was
kid.
fucking hilarious. You have to
Yeah.
admit. When he's
Yeah.
like, that kid, I want to fight that kid. And he just comes in all flexed. And he's like, no, not you. The one behind you. The one right there.
That's one of the funniest scenes when he calls out the little short guy and he
Yeah.
stands up.
Fucking
Like all the visual comedy like works. I remember my favorite scene back in the day was when the guy was throwing the knives.
Yes.
And then like that made me laugh so hard. Like, cause I thought I said like the jokes and all the comedy is super super hilarious. Like you can't like fault it for that.
Like Stephen Chow pulls from a lot of things in this movie. He pulls a lot from Bruce Lee, since he's one of his childhood heroes. Even the landlord guy, he was Bruce Lee's stunt double in a couple of his movies. So like he used a lot of people that had either worked with Bruce Lee or whatever. And like all the fighting in this movie is choreographed by the guy that did The Matrix.
Oh,
So like
shit.
hence why all the fighting stuff, like it kind of has that kind of similar feel. And even there's even kind of like the little bit of Neo elements to the character, once
Is
he gets
the one?
reborn. Yeah, pretty much. He is the one because he was the one that was able to defeat the, to go up against that big kung fu master at the end.
Hey, that bad guy is fucking cool, right? When they show how he's like kicking everyone's ass and like how he could like fucking stop the bullet with his fingers. That all that is so cool. It's like a cartoon. It's like watching this big cartoon, this anime or something.
What the hell is up with the hairdresser's butt? Like,
I
why?
don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's just a running joke.
Ass cracks are funny, yo.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, if you enjoy like all like the airplane style movies, like David Zucker and all that stuff, this is like a hidden gem. If you haven't seen it, I can imagine if you like those movies that you haven't. But yeah, it's kind of a hidden gem for those type of movies, you know.
And Stephen Chow, dude, you can tell like he pays attention to the comedy. Like I think like I said, there was like a Looney Tunes reference in a way, like influence in this movie, like the way the chick runs, the way like the cartoony lips when the guy gets all like big and whatever, and it's all this like influences, man, and he did a good. I think he did a great job on that. It's just I fucking find it entertaining. I was laughing. There hasn't been one scene that made me feel like this is boring or anything. I mean, this is like my 8th time watching it, I guess, or whatever. But but so it's just like I said, it's great all around, man. Like, oh,
The lady, right? The lady's too good.
I love her, man. She's
too
I
good.
think she's the best one, dude. Like, she
She
made me
is
laugh
the
with
best
the majority.
one.
She throws a sandal at somebody, fucking flies. When she runs, like I said, she runs and her legs like disappears and under the bed,
Roadrunner style.
I just love it. Oh my god, it was just she's the funniest one, dude. And then I felt like her power, like the yelling, got me scared because I'm like, I don't want to fuck with you as a wife. Like I don't want you to fucking be mine. Why don't you wash the dishes? I'm like, don't hurt me.
Hey, but you know what's my favorite part of the movie? It's dumb because like I'm pretty sure I don't know if you guys remember, but it's this scene where you know how there's like the X gang, the main head of that gang, and he's like, hey, they got away, and then the bad guy just turned around and slaps him. His fucking head just I couldn't stop laughing, man. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, the timing of all the jokes is it's so good. Yeah.
Good movie, fun watch. If you're like super depressed or something,
If you watch Devil all the time, watch this after.
I think
this
Netflix,
is a good
Netflix automatically recommends this movie after the Devil all the time. Here, watch this.
Make yourself feel better, guys.
Yeah.
Wait, have 4 ins and 1 out, right? I'm assuming, if I remember correctly. Damn you, America. Kidding. I'm kidding, America. I'm kidding. But yeah, so tune in next week. We're gonna watch the new movie called Antebellum, starring Janelle Monáe. It's gonna be interesting. I've been hearing about this movie for a while in trailers before the pandemic, and an old movie, which is my pick, which is The Man from Nowhere. You can see on Amazon Prime, and this is a Korean movie that got me into Korean movies. So it's let's get into it next week. But of course, please follow us on Instagram and Not Delete Reviews and Twitter at @InOutDelete, and also watch us on YouTube. Please, @InOutDelete, search @InOutDelete on YouTube. Watch us, click on the bell, like and subscribe, bro. And whatever. I'm not gonna do that fucking gamer shit. You know what I mean? Like, subscribe.
Leave us a comment.
Leave us a comment
on iTunes or wherever. Just give us your feedback. We'll
lady,
appreciate it.
come on, huh?
And also, Gio had also created a Spotify playlist if you want to listen to of all the greatest motion picture soundtracks you want to listen to.
Yeah, so it's a mixture of songs, so songs that either were featured in a movie, bits and pieces of score from movies. So it's just a mixture of everything.
So we could be listening to the same music, all of us together. Yes.
Hold on, let's do it. So everyone, please wear your mask, be safe. That's it, man. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.